Japan is engineered to only allow you to live in Japan. A bit like Jurassic Park.
Just like Jurassic Park.
It's like you're... I'll never come back to the restaurant ever again. I can't believe you're being such a blatant foreigner.
I went drinking.
I'm NihongoGamer.
I'm Where's Stu?
It's really strange, isn't it, to not say I'm StuInTokyo. Start with I'm where.
I'm Where's
I'm
Stu?
where. When you're lost and when you're traveling, you just say like I'm where.
Didn't think that through very thoroughly when I was like, if I introduce myself, it's gonna sound like I'm Where's Stu?
So today's video is about funny habits or just habits that you've picked up in Japan, but I haven't even really thought of any habits that I've picked up.
Have you not? Really?
Apart from sniffling.
Do you find you sniffle more? Because that's something that I personally can't really stand in Japan. Yeah, people do it on the train all the time, like really loud.
So we'll explain kind of quickly. Actually, I don't know which way to look. In Japan, instead of blowing their nose, they inhale and they get all the snot like into their esophagus. Or I'm not sure.
into some nether region of the back of their throats.
Yeah,
it's the kind of thing that like you would do. I personally would do like in the bathroom in my own private time, and it's like, but I know I just like doing it. It's that, yeah. I don't know if I want to do it. I feel dirty.
No, you don't have to do it. And honestly, it is quite rude where we come from.
Yeah,
but in Japan,
huffing up phlegm in public.
Yeah, but
like,
in Japan, it's the opposite.
It's rude to like blow your nose, which is why people have to do it.
Yeah,
and I actually asked one of my Japanese friends recently about that, and she was telling me that. Yeah, like I would feel more embarrassed to blow my nose in public than if I'd farted in public. That's what she said.
Way.
Yeah, and I was like, what? And she's totally serious. Yeah. I was like, I'll be honest, I'd much rather you farted than stand next to me and just like cough up a load of phlegm.
No
really
way.
Loud. Yeah.
Well, I guess that explains why they don't have the masks on the other side. Or maybe they do, and
You just can't see them.
You just can't see it because it's concealed by the clothing.
Butt masks could be a thing.
You say that. You know that there's some Japanese company watching this and they're like,
butt masks.
Next product.
Let's make it happen.
And apparently that's actually pretty much how products are sold in Japan. Like they just throw it into 7-Eleven, which is where you can find everything.
Everything.
Yeah, but you can't guarantee it'll still be there next week, right? Because they go through this massive like turnover. Yeah. There's like 20,000 different items in there apparently.
It's crazy. And in fact, that leads me on to one of my habits that I know I've developed whilst being in Japan.
Stu's habit.
And it's just like expecting to be able to get whatever I want at any time. And like I kind of took that for granted because when I left Tokyo back in December, went back to the UK.
Yeah.
You know, it's like midnight or like 1 in the morning, whatever. I'm like, I could do with a snack or whatever it is. I go outside,
a croquet,
and I realise like everything is closed everywhere. Like back in England,
especially in England where everything closes at 5.
Well, not quite that. It's like sometimes 6 if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, 6.
If you're lucky, 6.
If you're absolutely, if you're really lucky, 6. But mostly 5.
It's crazy.
Yeah. London's different, obviously. London's like its own country, so it's just like we'll work till 8 or 10. Okay, so what are these things that you need that are so urgent?
There's never anything urgent. I just want it. I just want something. Like, it's usually either
like a white
food,
shirt or a tie.
Actually, no. Sometimes, yeah.
Really?
I've actually had that before. Like,
because I've seen it sometimes in a convenience store. You go to 7-Eleven and they have these white. They call them white shirts.
Yeah, white shirts.
But it's a white shirt or just like ties or socks.
So I have previously. In fact, so I bought from 7-Eleven / Family Mart. I bought socks. I bought just like underwear in general. I bought shirts.
When have you had to buy underwear?
I went drinking and then like got too drunk to go home. And
the unlimited alcohol video.
No, it wasn't then. It wasn't then. There wasn't a video about it. But like, I ended up.
There should be a link to that video.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous video. But I had work the next day. Which was a bad idea from the start.
And that's why you're unemployed now.
That's a story for another time. But I am currently unemployed and homeless, and
which is why he's here.
Which is why I'm here. Thank you for the coffee and the sofa
and the rice. I gave you rice.
You did give me rice. It was great.
All the chopsticks.
Rice. He even gave me chopsticks.
You can't keep those.
No. I mean, like he gave me them to use, not to keep.
So the convenience factor, I definitely suffered from that when I went back to the UK for holidays and stuff.
It's kind of painful now. Like I feel like I rely on it too much.
Does it make you want to live in Japan?
Yes. I mean, I honestly, I was back in the UK for only 2 weeks around Christmas to see like my family.
And you couldn't handle it.
I really miss just Japan in general, but like the convenience being a big part of that. But just being in Japan is great for so many reasons.
I'll tell you what, in addition to convenience stores, and this might actually be related company-wise, I massively rely on family restaurants.
Yeah?
Yeah, because sometimes I work really, really late, especially making videos, and it's a sort of anti-social hours type thing. You kind of get home from work, then you work on your videos, and you finish editing at about 11 o'clock, and you're like so excited about having made a video. Well, I don't know, actually, I don't know if other people do it as well, but I get really excited about getting the video online immediately, and then I'll put it on, and I'll make it public, and then I'll be like, it's 11:30 and I haven't eaten since breakfast. Right? And then you go to a family restaurant, and it's amazing. You have it's like going to a maid cafe. If you go to Denny's, by the way, don't bother with maid cafes. Just go to Denny's.
Denny's is great.
They're all wearing aprons anyway.
That wasn't why I was going to say it.
It's quite. Isn't that the point of the? No, it's not. The apron's not the point.
I guess the apron is the point.
I saw your maid cafe video. That was really cool.
The plus size one.
The plus size cafe. I would love to go there.
It's a little bit different.
I don't think it's really awful because I don't think I would choose a cafe because of the size of the people in it.
They were lovely though.
But I would like
really
to go.
Cool
I've been to a couple maid cafes, and I would definitely go to that one as well. I think that'll be fun.
It was fun.
And they dressed you up in it as well.
They did. You can go watch that video if you want. Me at a plus size maid cafe.
I feel like I'm always pointing at links.
Called the Marshmallow Maid Cafe. Super fun.
That's right. It's called the Marshmallow.
Yeah, because like marshmallow is a term in Japanese to refer to somewhat endearingly to plus size women. But anyway, so back to habits.
Back to habits,
I guess.
I really missed. I would really miss family restaurants.
Have you got yourself some?
No, because mine's still got coffee from before.
And
I had coffee this morning.
You just made. Cheers.
Cheers.
Come by.
Stu, where's Stu?
Here
it just really bugs me to call you where's Stu because I know exactly where you are. You're right here.
Call me here's Stu.
There's Stu. That's a stew.
That's a stew.
We should get a real stew.
Just a real stew. Like, here's Stu. Just do a cooking channel next.
Should make a cooking channel. What would we cook if we had a cooking channel? We're digressing.
Well, we cook Japanese food because Japan is like
Kare. More hobbits.
There's more hobbits.
Like
this video needs more hobbits.
More hobbits.
More hobbits. Okay. So habit-wise, another thing I noticed when I was back in the UK for a while was that I find myself uncontrollably bowing. Because in Japan, like everybody is so just like polite and respectful, and like there's a lot of bowing for everything. Yeah. Like sumimasen is kind of like the go-to word for saying sorry, saying thanks.
But if you say it like that, they'll look at you like, could you be polite, please? If you say sumimasen, they'll be like, sumimasen.
It's more like, sumimasen, sumimasen. For example, when I was crossing the road in the UK, so like,
it's like the wrong place to bow.
It is completely the wrong place to bow. But like, so it's a zebra crossing, right? Or zebra crossing. I don't know what you call them outside of the UK. But anyway.
It's a zebra crossing.
Zebra crossing, yeah. Thanks.
Pelican?
But they're also, pelicans are different. So I found myself, I was crossing the road, and like, this car stopped for me.
Yeah.
And I found myself in the middle of the road, turning to the car, and I bowed, and I was like, what did I just do?
Yeah,
is that... like...
Wait, stop. Is that normal in Japan?
I've seen, people do that. The car, like, goes towards you, and then the car stops, and you sort of... It's not like a whole bow, but, like, you sort of do that.
So the way that has become a habit for you, the whole bowing thing, actually, for me, doing specifically foreigner-type things in Japan has become a bad habit for me. Like, so if I know that everyone's going to bow in a certain situation, I will make sure that I don't bow sometimes. Because I'll be just like, you're all crazy for bowing at this. It's a machine. Don't bow to a machine.
You're like, gaijin power.
Yeah, I have these...
I'm foreign.
Yeah, because 80% of the time I'm like doing things that all the Japanese people are doing by accident. And then 20% of the time I'm like, no, I have independent thought and I'm going to not.
Like conscientious objector. It's like...
Yeah, exactly.
I am not doing that. Even though instinctively I feel like I should be.
Exactly.
And my body wants to, but no. You've heard of the term gaijin smash, right?
Oh yeah. Would you like to explain what gaijin smash is?
So gaijin is anyone who is non-Japanese living in Japan, pretty much. It's short for gaikokuji, which is outside country person. So a gaijin smash is where you do something that you shouldn't be doing in Japan for whatever reason, but
because you know
that you shouldn't be doing that, but because you're a foreigner, you know you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Like a common example is I know someone who like was going to the ticket barriers and like didn't have a ticket, and the way the barriers work in Japan is like as you approach them, because they look open, it looks like you can just walk through, but as you approach them, if you don't put a ticket in, it closes on you, right?
Yeah.
But also, although they close on you, you can still just walk through them.
Yeah, because they close, but they only close like this.
Yeah.
So
but even then, you can push them. Like they're not rigid. You just.
Oh really?
Yeah. So like.
Oh right.
This particular person was like,
no,
I don't have any money on my card thing.
Yeah.
just like walked through. First off, that's not cool. I don't advocate that in any way. I'm just explaining an example of a gaijin smash.
I actually think that's where the term comes from. If you like research gaijin smash as far back as you possibly can, apparently it's because a guy had a friend who used to do that with his train tickets.
Really?
Yeah, and that's why it's called
that
smash.
Would make sense
because you actually smash through the barriers.
Okay. I have found myself like gaijin, not to that extent, but like gaijin smashing. The most common one is just pretending you can't speak Japanese for your own advantage, for a personal gain. It's like a classic example is in a place where like someone says, "Oh, you can't take pictures here," and you're sort of like, "Oh, I can't read Japanese," which is bad. It's not terrible. Good. And again, don't do that because it's naughty and it's rude. I am naughty and rude. I'm sorry.
But by talking about it on a video which is going out to thousands of subscribers, we're also kind of teaching you that you can. We'll just edit it out. I would frown upon people who did it.
Yeah.
Right after I had done it.
But I would be a hypocrite.
Exactly. And I would be a hypocrite
in frowning it. Yeah. Because if I saw someone do stuff like that, I'd be like, come on, man.
I think that's something also that does happen. I've become a massive hypocrite. I was like, when foreigners come to Japan, in my own mind, I look at them and go, I can't believe you're being such a blatant foreigner.
He's like such a guy.
Yeah, while I'm like literally doing it myself as well. And I'm just like, where did I get this attitude? Where did this attitude come
from? Honestly, I feel like that's quite
terrible.
Common with like foreigners that live in Japan. Like the longer you live in Japan, the more bitter you get about other foreigners.
Yeah, you start to think like, oh, I'm part of Japan, and who are you? You're a foreigner.
But I think a lot of foreigners in Japan think that way as well.
Yeah. Do you think it's just natural? Like,
to be honest, I think so. Yeah, and I think the longer you live in Japan and like. Because it is difficult living in Japan. Like it's difficult being like the derukugi, as they say in Japanese. Like,
what? What does that mean?
The nail that sticks out. There's like that common phrase in Japanese. It's like the nail that sticks out gets hammered.
Gets hammered.
Gets Way.
I'm sticking out.
I mean, we do that as well, but it basically just means like if you stick out, if you're different, it's. Conformity is a big part of Japanese culture. So being a foreigner in Japan, you can never truly conform, and that's difficult. And you work really hard to try and fit in as much as you can.
Yeah.
And so when you see foreigners in Japan that aren't you, and that like you're like, I'm working hard here to like fit in. Look at this guy just being a blatant foreigner.
Yeah, I think those are the moments when I feel like I can't believe you're being so foreign. But the truth is, I think 90%, 80% of my day, I'm still doing things that are just super, super wrong. They're just wrong because I'm just not used to doing everything.
Even if you're used
sometimes I just don't know.
Gaijin smashing. Yeah, sometimes it's a genuine like just smash.
We were actually at an izakaya, which is just a Japanese bar. One of the people there mentioned to me that I shouldn't mix rice with food.
Yeah.
Because it's like an insult to the flavour of the rice or something.
Something like that,
the rice wasn't good enough on its own, you had to mix it with sauce or something. But I do it all the time.
I do that as well.
It tastes better sometimes.
And honestly, but my opinion on that is like, if it's your food, you're enjoying your food, like, shut up. Is what I think. Like, this is how I actually
brings us on to the next habit.
Yeah?
Slurping with ramen.
Oh, the old ramen slurp.
I couldn't do it when I first got to Japan.
Yeah.
Part of me was like, that's gross. No.
I just felt so dirty.
Yeah.
It actually kind of works.
It does really work. And also, did you know this? That when you... Okay, again, we're not doing a very good job of explaining this, but people, when they eat ramen, they don't just put it onto the spoon and put it in their mouth. They just get a bit of the noodle and they'll just slurp until the rest of the noodle comes up from the bowl. And apparently, this is because it cools down the noodle.
And it does, though. It does.
Did not even occur to me that was because maybe I do have the that nekojita.
A sensitive tongue.
Maybe I do have a sensitive tongue because actually it doesn't work for me. Right? I'll like slurp it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's cooling down the noodle.
Get to the end of the noodle.
The tongue is like numb, and then I've actually burnt myself. Yeah, it's terrible. So yeah, slurping with noodles.
That's something that I haven't picked up personally.
Oh really? So you don't sniff. You don't.
I don't sniff. I don't slurp. Occasionally I find myself slurping a little bit, but then I find myself like stopping it. I feel like it's a habit in the making.
Okay.
I feel like I haven't kind of gone over the edge yet.
The next time next time there's a yummy video by Stu
of me eating ramen, look out for me.
See if he does the slurp.
But if I'm editing it and I slurp, I'm just going to cut it out. So it's just like, I've noticed I am less direct, because that's something that is very, very Japanese. Japanese people, again, as I said before, are very, very polite, and they like to avoid confrontation. That's a little bit difficult, and they always make that sound that's like...
Do you do that to people? So when people say like, oh, can you come over today? And you're just like, definitely not going. You just go, yeah.
And you just come across kind of flaky.
But, yeah.
Like I do it a little bit, even in English. I'm like, I just don't really explicitly say it. It is frustrating to the other person, and I know it is, because I find it frustrating personally.
Have you ever bowed while on the phone?
I don't think I have.
I've actually done this. And again, I would like to just point out that all of these silly habits, these habits that I'm talking about are mostly things that I thought were stupid. I thought like, these are stupid habits, and anyone who does it is just trying to pretend to be Japanese. You know, when you first arrive in Japan, you want to be Japanese, right? You want to wear a yukata and walk down the street and be as Japanese as possible. And so when I saw people doing like the slurping and the bowing, I was just like, oh, you're just trying to be Japanese. And then it just happens. I'm pretty sure I was on the phone, and I can't remember who it was. I was like, thank you very much. What am I doing, and how is it helping me end this call?
It doesn't. Actually, having said that, so I haven't like probably bowed on the phone, but the head thing.
Yeah, I'm doing
like the semi bow. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I've definitely done that.
Yeah,
I've definitely done like the sort of like that. That's so Japanese. Like.
Yeah. I think stage 2 of that would actually to be like inching out of where you go.
Because that happens like when you interact with Japanese people, like you sort of bow and like edge away slowly.
This conversation was fun, but I don't want to be part of it anymore, and I'm just gonna back away.
I've never done that on the phone. Definitely, that's not something I've done. But
it's coming up.
It is. I guess less of a habit, but something that I noticed when traveling around Southeast Asia recently.
Yeah.
And just how like clean Japan is.
Yeah.
Like, and not just that, like, the people are super nice. The place is really. I think I've been spoiled by Japan, basically.
Japan does spoil you, and I wouldn't just say spoils you. It's more like Japan is engineered to only allow you to live in Japan, a bit like Jurassic Park.
Just like Jurassic
Park. It's like you're injected with lysine or whatever that thing is. I think it's called lysine.
I think it is called lysine.
I'm pretty sure that Japan injects you like secretly. You don't even notice it when you enter the country, and then when you leave, you're just like, I need convenience stores and ramen that's open till 2 a.m.
All these things that just like add up to. Japan is a great place to live.
And LTE. I need LTE internet everywhere.
Even like in the subways, it's like
in the subway.
Perfect speed.
Why is there perfect 4G internet?
It's amazing. Like, everywhere.
Underground.
Yeah. Have you heard of like why the signal's great everywhere?
Why?
I have no idea how true this is. Don't quote me on it. But I've heard. Do you know they have vending machines everywhere? Which is another thing actually that I really rely on now.
Oh no way!
They have like transmitters in the vending machines.
No, I don't believe that. That can't be true.
And it's like sponsored by Coca-Cola or something.
There's absolutely no way that's true. No way. Because
there's vending machines everywhere, right?
There are vending machines.
And it's great internet coverage everywhere.
That's true. Oh, conspiracy. I'm pretty sure you're allowed to hum copyright music. You're not? We'll just cut it.
We'll cut it.
It's funny. I think we
cut the whole video.
We should have a video. We should have a video which is all just of us saying, "Let's cut it. Let's just cut it." All the bits where you said, "Let's."
Let's cut it.
Yeah. I wish there was like a plugin that could search for all the bits where we
That'd
said,
be awesome.
Let's just cut it.
Let's just cut it. 10 minutes of me and you, but let's just cut it.
Let's just cut it.
Let's just cut that.
It could be.
We should cut that.
It could be like a remix. It could be.
Let's cut it. Let's just cut it.
Let's cut it.
Let's cut that.
You're supremely good at beatboxing, actually.
Oh.
Did you practice that?
You know how many people sing in the shower?
You beatbox in the shower?
I do.
Now I'm imagining...
Are you imagining me in the shower?
Beatboxing. Well, you're beating something. It's terrible. Cut that.
Let's cut that. Let's cut that. So I made some notes on the old lappy toppy.
Yeah, you're opening it wrong. I noticed all these things that are not important, like, the black strip on the side of the laptop, that means it's the bit where the hinge is, you're not going to be able to open that. It's not useful information, and then when you tell people they're about to make a mistake, does that make them feel better? No. Alright, there's no need to be so sarcastic. If you're going to be such a dick about it, I'm sorry you have to be such a dick.
My favourite one is like, I'm sorry you're offended by that.
Ooh, that's almost as bad. If you don't want to use the word dick, then it's pretty good.
I'm sorry you're a whiny prick.
Oh god.
My comment still stands, and you're clearly offended, and that sucks for you. That's it.
Salad. You eat salad with chopsticks.
I do.
Yeah. That's good, because they chop salad differently. It's actually easier with chopsticks.
It is.
Sometimes.
So you have a fork, and they're trying to stab a piece of lettuce. You're like, this doesn't work. You get a spoon. That doesn't work. Knife? No. Chopsticks? Yes. So I'm in the UK, and they're like, I have genuinely considered going out to restaurants with my own chopsticks in the pocket. Just
my hashi. You should do it. And let's see how long you survive.
We won't survive very long doing that.
What's that? What you brought into my restaurant?
My hashi?
My hashi? I'll never come back to your restaurant ever again. Or next time I'll come back to your restaurant and I'll bring a gift.
Yeah. Just cut it. Just cut the whole video. Just cut that. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, I can't think of any other habits, but if we do, we could just make another video.
We can do whatever we want because we are grown-ass adults.
Well, you're an ass, but I'm
I'm just a grown ass.
I'm an adult.
Spoken like a true adult.
Toodles.
Bye. Nice.
Longer than I was expecting, but
That's what she said.
いずれ結婚するの？また遊ぶ。
I haven't had DC shoes since I was in the 8th grade.
テント大好き？
好きです。
裸同士。